crazy tonight. Hey, everybody. This is Dr. Norbert calling to you. Whoa, here I am. Calling live from London for another wonderful game of MCP and the TTS League. All right, Kingpin, we've had enough of you. Get out of here. All right, and the music goes off. All right, we get it all going on today. All right, this is week 5 of season 16. I'm Dr. Norbert from London calling to you, and I am definitely discombobulated tonight. We need to remedy that with some whiskey for sure. In a few minutes, that'll settle me down. In the meantime, let me introduce you to my co-host again, a guest co-host, but for the 3 weeks now in a row. My good friend, the most creative MCP player in the world, Angus. Hey, buddy, welcome to the show.
Hello, it's lovely to be back. Second week in a row, I think. Maybe
Third.
a missed me week in the middle. Is it third?
I thought so.
Man,
maybe not in a row.
Not
in a row, maybe, but definitely 3.
Yeah. Super glad to be back here. It's fun.
Cool, excellent. We've been having lots of good feedback with you, with your appearances. So it's great that you could come on again and help us out. While the Huggy Bear is stuck with real life stuff. Okay, let's get into this straight away. So, I forgot to mention, this is the big Clash of the North. This is the folks up in the Northeast, the hotbed of tabletop wargaming in the UK and perhaps all of Europe is up there. And these are some of the best players in the north of MCP. You probably even know them already. So let us see who they are. The people are Jimbo. Jimbo will be Jim Gradwell in red tonight. And Joemanji, everybody knows Joemanji as well. And both of these guys are running the Eurovision Wong League. So they have that on top of all the incredible gameplay that they do when they're players in the TTS League. Let's see what they brought. So this is Jim's list. He brought along Beast, Black Bolt. So he is playing Inhumans as promised. Bullseye, Dr. Voodoo, Lockjaw, Toad, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Quicksilver, interesting. Oh, he's affiliated. Namor, No Gem, and Ms. Marvel. Tactics cards are Brace, Can I Borrow That? Grievous Wounds, Inhuman Royal Family, Patch Up, Princess Protection, Recal, Terra Genesis. Oh, that's interesting. I don't always see that one. And Warpath. All right. On Joe's side. Boop, 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 boop. What did he end up bringing? Because it was supposed to be a surprise. It was going to be a surprise. It was Nick Fury Jr., Namor, No Gem, Ghost Spider, Black Cat, Baron Zemo 1. Oh, Joe, no, Joe, wait. Yay. Okay, thank you. But Baron Zemo 1, Wong, Toad, Miles Morales, Spectacular Spider-Man on Shang-Chi. So is this a Web Warriors list?
I think this is a Web Warriors Shield list.
Yes, here's the Invaders. Excellent.
Crossover.
Cat and the Spider, Survival, Spider Tracker, I'm a Baron After All, Fallback, Eye in the Sky, Brace for Impact, Battlefield Medicine, and all webbed up. All right, I'll tell them you can go. Go. And Joe won. Oh, no, wait. I forget who won.
It looks like
Jim.
It looks like Jim won prior.
Yeah, Jim won priority and chose Secures, and Joe picked Threat 16. Let's take a look at what crises got played. Oh, and I have a message from Pat, ATB Pat, about our last show. Don't let me forget to mention it. So the red ones, who picked Secures? It was Jim. Jim's Secure is Demons Downtown. Okay, remember he's the Inhumans player. And then the Shield / Web Warriors player ended up picking Pump Paranoia for the extract. And Joe also picked 16 Threat instead of 19. The map tonight comes from an old school, one of the first maps probably created for the leagues way back when in the pandemic times, from Zaytan. But Pat wanted to mention that he doesn't intentionally put Terrain in ways to screw people up on their deployment zones and things like that. he said there's some limitations about where you could put terrain and have the tokens can't partially overlap terrain, and so it added some extra dimensions of difficulty, and so it just happened to work out that way. We mentioned it last time, or at least I commented on him doing that on purpose, and it turns out maybe not all the time anyway.
Yeah, I don't believe that he never did that on purpose. I think, yeah, there are too many. There are too many.
Well, this will be send all hate mail to Angus this time, Pat. It was I'm trying to do the right thing by you. All right, let's look at the map real quick. The secures are right down the middle.
Extracts.
Sorry, yeah, the extracts are right down the middle. So we have a disturbance here at the very bottom of the screen, 2 sort of in the middle, 1 at the top. And the thing about these disturbances are if you don't have a friend within 2 of you, when you pick one up, you will take a point of damage. On the other hand, if you do have a friend with you within 2 of you during the cleanup phase, you get an extra VP. So there's an extra VP beyond the 4 that's just from the extracts themselves. Demons downtown, everyone knows and loves. It's down straight down the middle, left to right. And here is where if you stand next to it, you get incinerated. And in fact, you remain incinerated because it goes back on during the power phase. All right, that's all the setup done. All right, Angus, give us your insights as to these 2 rosters.
Okay, so the Shield Web Warriors roster I'm very familiar with. It's an interesting split because people tend to run the Shield when they're expecting a fight down the middle, which this would be. They tend to run the Shield half like that. The Web Warriors side, I think there were two threats there, being Toad and Wong, so you can go really wide at 16 as well. So we could really be seeing anything because I think there are enough extracts on the board for the Web Warriors to make it worth it playing Web Warriors, but being Shield, they like the fight down the middle too. We're already seeing the lists here. And on the Inhuman side of things, they're complicated. They've got lots of shenanigans, and there's likely to be some steals. And I really want to see Miss Marvel on the table here because she's excellent, and this is a good situation for her to excel in because we're likely to see a fight, and she hits well above her weight class, particularly against size 2s, which is the majority of Jim's team. Nope. Joe's team, sorry. But yeah, it's a Northern Derby, isn't it? Northern Derby.
Exactly. Let's see what these guys are all about up there. Okay, well, he did take Ms. Marvel, so you're in luck, my friend. He ended up taking Black Bolt, Quicksilver, Toad, and Miles Morales. His cars are Brace, Inhuman Royal Family, Patch Up, Can I Borrow That, and Recal Matrix. Meanwhile, what did Joe end up bringing? Looks like Shield. Namor, Nick Fury Jr. with the Shield agents, Spectacular Spider-Man, and Shang-Chi. And then he's got the Invaders leadership card, Eye in the Sky, Brace for Impact, Fallback, and Battlefield Medicine. Tell the listeners why Shield Invaders is so hot. And in fact, if you want a deep depth dive on Shield Invaders, do look up the Across the Bifrost podcast, which I'm a co-host on now. We had a guest on who did a very well received kind of deep dive on the Shield Invaders list or roster, and you might find that very valuable. But okay, Angus, tell us a little bit about how the leadership works or why it's such a great affiliation these days in the meta.
So I think they really came to prominence around the release of Loki 2 and that Asgard list coming out. And the Shield leadership allows them to have defensive rerolls and unlock skulls. Not defensive rerolls and unlock skulls on defensive rerolls, but defensive rerolls in a bubble, and then unlock skulls when they're within 2 of an ally. Is that right? I get the order slightly wrong. So what this means is that the team can avoid taking that chip damage, and obviously they're more tanky as well from the defensive roles. Now, one really cool thing about this crossover between Web Warriors and Shield is that they both have a similar style leadership with Miles and the Invaders leadership on Namor, and that means that the characters that are benefiting from one are probably going to benefit from the other, which means they have this really nice crossover, and the roster can lend itself towards different things. Now, the Shield side of things is better at shooting and fighting, the Web Warriors side of things is better at grabbing, securing, moving people off points. So they cover a bunch of bases, and it works really well together like that. So we've seen the shield side here. So these are all going to be quite deceptively tough characters, and we know that Shang-Chi and Namor are already quite difficult to pin down and quite difficult to kill. Now, maybe you've listened to my podcast on this as well, but I have quite a dim opinion of Shang-Chi, actually, in most situations. But this is not one of them. I think he's going to excel here. There aren't that many throws coming from Jim, which I think is his main weakness, and the extra defensive layers that Shield are giving him is really beneficial. So we love to see that. Spectacular Spider-Man is an all-star, has his own inbuilt rerolls and benefiting from the Invaders' leadership, as well as Namor's rerolls. And then Nick, the Grunts, are the star here in these down the middle fights, as there are so many dice coming down the range as they're shooting their guns with the rerolls from Namor and being within range of Nick, that it really steps up Nick Fury Jr.'s output to a really excessive level. As long as him and the Grunts are both double tapping, it's really impressive. So that's what we're likely to see is the Grunts putting in some real work here.
Eye in the Sky is another great defensive card. It's basically like fallback, but you get to bring it back into your list. Or into your hand, so to speak. And Battlefield Medicine is kind of like med pack, so you can remove up to 3 damage and a special condition with this. So lots of tankiness there as well. So Joe's decided to put Namor straight down the middle. To the left is Shang-Chi and Nick Fury Jr. To the right is Spectacular Spider-Man and then the Shield agents, but basically very tightly packed in down the middle. Meanwhile, let's see, what has Jim done? Jim's put Ms. Marvel right down the middle. Toad flanking hard right. Then just to the left of Ms. Marvel is Black Bolt, and then Quicksilver, and then flanking a little bit harder left is Miles Morales. Now, of all these cards, the Inhuman Royal Family is the one that's a little unfamiliar to me. This is where any number of Inhuman characters may spend 2 power each to play the card. Once this round, each character that spent power may re-roll any number of dice in one of their attack or defense rolls. Okay, that sounds really good. And the rest we kind of know. So Ms. Marvel and Quicksilver are both Inhumans, aren't they?
Yes, so he's got the minimum 3 there. The other 2 obviously won't benefit, but they're just good characters. Now, Black Bolt's leadership means that a lot of different shenanigans can be done as well, early and late. So a lot of these characters like Miles and Quicksilver, who really benefit from having a second power, or Miss Marvel, who loves having 3 power and 1 turn, can get there with the leadership. It'll be interesting to see where Jim actually ends up putting that extra power, as he can pass the power around between the characters that are within 3 of each other, thanks to Black Bolt's leadership. So we're seeing Toad move up and grab one of the side paranoias.
Yep. So Jim's went out the gate. He had priority, so he went ahead and used Toad to flank hard right, and used his ability to pick up that token and still be able to get some cover from that dumpster. He did take the point of damage for picking it up without a friend nearby, which is expected. Not sure why they were tapping on their arrows there.
We've seen Black Bolt's leadership kick in. So Black Bolt has donated a power to Quicksilver, so he's now got his long move. I can't remember the name of the power. Speedster, I think.
Speedster, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's now online. Yeah, no problem.
So Inhumans' leadership abilities is they can pass 1 power anytime during their turn to somebody else on their team within 3. All right, Shield agents. What's up?
There's a really interesting mechanic here, which I think we might be about to see. In the card, Can I Borrow That, requires Quicksilver to do damage to the target to take their thing. Now, one of the best things about the Grunts is that they can interact with extracts, but when you kill them, they drop their own extract. But Quicksilver can steal the extract off the Grunts with the card, avoid completely getting around their ability to drop the extract somewhere else. So we might see an early steal maybe from Quicksilver to just break that parity of extracts on turn 1, which would be really exciting.
I hear you, but I mean, Joe must know that and and did it anyway. So I'm not sure what's going on here, unless he was taken aback by the Inhuman power thing, but he's seen it, so I'm not sure. He's still confident. He's still confident. Anyhow, the grunts did pick up the extract and took a damage because of that, but now Nick Fury Jr., the parent, activates. He's moving up to pick up the other extract, and because he's within 2 of them, he won't take that damage. Angus, as anybody who's been a regular viewer of the show knows, it was my last special beer from Belgium last show. So I had to break out the big old bag of whiskey that Patrick Long kindly gave me with all kinds of samplers in it. All kinds of whiskey samplers from Ireland are in here. I'm so indebted to him for this generous gift. So I'm just going to reach in and grab any one and see what I end up with. It is for Cullen, single malt, 46%. Apparently a full bottle of this costs you 55 euros. Not bad. All right, let's go. What do you got tonight?
I have, on account of me going to a conference later this week, decided I should definitely not drink at all. So I've got myself a Guinness Zero.
Yay! One of my faves.
And a pint glass. Oh, so I'm going to have full experience, yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Thank you for coming on to the show. And that's a fantastic drink. If you're not drinking alcohol, I highly recommend the Guinness Zeros. I drink it very regularly. It's excellent. It really tastes like Guinness, but no alcohol. So everybody out there, cheers. Hope you're enjoying playing MCP, and certainly hope you enjoy the show today.
Cheers, Norbert.
Cheers, my friend. All right. Back into it.
Okay, so I think Joe's got a bit of a conundrum now. No, not Joe. Jim, even. That's definitely going to keep getting.
I know. I've been messing up myself.
I might switch to describing the teams. That might be a bit easier. Okay, so he's gone wide with Quicksilver here to grab this, which is interesting because it kind of puts his card offline for a little bit, because that requires a steal. It requires Quicksilver to take the extract, and you can only hold one of these, so he won't have that online for a while. But it does mean that he was able to spend 2 to Speedster, borrow a power from...
He borrowed a second power in this turn, didn't he? Yeah. So he had 3 altogether and decided to get the... So what Speedster is, what, he just gets to move a free long move. Is that it?
Yeah, he can't do it while he's holding an extract. So what he did was he used the Speedster first, moved, picked it up, moved again to come back. So he's now back in safety.
And sat on the back point.
Yeah, excellent. Great safe play. If you haven't played against Inhumans before, they have loads of these weird things that you don't think a team should be able to do, and if they combine them all together, you really get outpaced early on extracts. But because we've got this down the middle extract game, with Paranoia being all on the midline, there's not so much room for Jim to take advantage of their early play on extracts, because now we're just kind of setting up for a fight, I guess.
And I think Inhumans wants these kind of central things because A, Black Bolt is a bit of a turret, and B, their leadership is harder to pull off if they're spreading out widely. Okay, Jim's put Spectacular Spider-Man... Sorry, there we go again. Joe's put Spectacular Spider-Man on his back point and passed it over to Jim. Jim now he's already doing his signature move of throwing measuring sticks out willy-nilly everywhere for... I was thinking about it today. He's like one of those guys who do shell games on street corners, you know? You keep just shoving the sticks around real fast, and you bamboozle your opponent, and then you make the move before they know how to react.
Yeah, you have to really pay attention, but particularly because if you don't know, listeners, Jim has a very unique play style with a lot of his teams. He'll play weird stuff that you haven't normally seen played in different ways. So all of us, he'll be doing all of this measuring, and then all of a sudden, the other side of the map, he'll do something crazy, score 2 points and win the game. He is very on it with these sorts of things, and he loves the trigonometry of the game. So it's always good to see him play, because he's really down with the good play patterns. He really gets it.
Yep. All right, he's committed to moving Ms. Marvel within 4 of Nick Fury Jr. Nick Fury is getting some cover from that bin, the dumpster, I should say. Oh, we've got loads of Californians in the chat today. Welcome, guys. There's Mike DeLuca from the Danger Room, one of the great hosts of that show. Thank you for joining. And we got my whiskey drinking buddy, Hyper Viper from the WTC. He's also in the chat today. Welcome, guys. Good to have you guys here. It's a little early for whiskey, I think, over in California right now, but you never know. Hyper's a madman. All right, so she's done the attack into Nick and did a good hit. Four successes into just one save, so he's going to be taking, with cover, only 2 points of damage.
Yeah, so a good start. And the wild as well, which I suspect was what he was really looking for, which is the push. So it has a push towards Miss Marvel, and he's trying to scoot Nick around this bin out of cover and hopefully into range of a really big hit from Black Bolt is what I think he's hoping, because there's no way of getting away from the fight on this map. It's going to happen, so you're better off getting in now rather than later, because there's no getting away from it, at least not early.
And he'll get incinerated as well.
Yeah.
So Angus and I are going to a tournament on Sunday. So this is my birthday tournament. So I got a pass to go to do 2 this month, which is really exciting. Very happy about that. I have the most understanding wife in tabletop wargaming. I'm certain of it. Certainly the most beautiful. Anyhow, we're going tomorrow to the Throwing Dice podcast in Southeast England, not terribly far from us, closer than Ragnarok was in Kent last weekend. And I'm going to switch from Wakanda just to give something else a try. And I decided to go with Thralls of Dracula. So I'm going to be bringing Drac and friends.
He's so fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to try him out. So I'm going to practice with him on Thursday and then let him run loose on Sunday. And you're sticking with Midnight Suns and the brand new characters, right?
Yeah, I think so. So at the tournament we were at last weekend, I won it, which was great. Really good to get.
Oh, that's right. Of course. How could I have forgotten? Yes. Congratulations on the win and going 4-0.
Yeah. Thanks.
In fact, you had to play Andrea, who's getting really proficient with Inhumans in the last round, and it wasn't an easy game.
Yeah. Well, fortunately for me, he wasn't playing Inhumans. He was playing Steve 3. So the new core box Inhumans. But yeah, he's beat me quite a lot with those Inhumans. And as soon as I saw him there actually and saw what he was running, I'm like, well, I'm glad I don't have to deal with what this is going on right now with all the shenanigans with the power jumping and that sort of thing. Steve 3 is obviously good, but in a different way. But yeah, got the win. So I'm probably coming back with the same characters. I had Man-Thing and Elsa in my list as well, and I played them both a few times. They're great. I loved them.
Yeah. No, I think you're hot with them right now. You might as well stick with that because it's going to be a tougher tournament, I think, this coming weekend. All right. Shang-Chi has decided to move up to where Nick was by that dumpster. And so now it's passed over to Jim again. And Jim, it looks like he may be trying to get Black Bolt to go ahead and do something. Let's take a look and see what happens. Got a lot of good chat tonight. You guys are on fire tonight. Love it. Love it. Stone Crow's in the chat. Big Midnight Suns player. He is painting up Elsa, so he might be there with her as well on Sunday. DeLuca and Hyper Viper are trying to figure out if you could do what happens if you try to... Can I borrow that off of the shield grunts if you actually KO them? Does that actually work? So they're working that out now. And yeah.
Well, so if you go last, I think the best situation is if you go last with Quicksilver. So you have last activation, you go last with Quicksilver, you move up, you hit them, you either can I borrow that from them, or if you can't can I borrow that after they KO, which I reckon you probably can't, you then just speedster onto the extract wherever they put it, and then pick it up. So you would always have power to do that if you went last in the first round, because as long as you're like passing power around correctly with the Inhumans. But it's all quite complicated. It's all very mathsy.
Yeah, according to Hyper, he feels like if they die, steal won't work. You know, they can't borrow that won't work. So yeah, so that's why everyone's more understanding of why Jim and Joe did the things that they did. You know, they're second level players. These guys. We're just at the ground floor, if you see what I mean. Okay, meanwhile, Black Bolt has moved forward and is attacking someone. He did a fantastic hit. 5 hits into... Oh, good save, though. 3 saves. So let's see who takes the damage. I didn't quite see who the target ended up being.
Probably... Is it... it's probably Nick, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think Nick took 2 damage from Ms. Marvel. Fury. Hyper saying Fury's the target. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not sure what's happening now.
Maybe the damage hasn't gone on?
No, I don't think so yet.
Yeah. Ah, okay. He's thinking about falling back.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Just as I saw the second stick coming out.
Yeah, because he's definitely in like kill range from a lucky attack from Miles now, as Miles will be able to get enough power to web swing as well, so he'll be able to get that attack steroid up to 6 attack dice. So he's already kind of in a risky position. So this will probably here we go, the fallback.
So he's taken another 2 points of damage. He's on 4.
Oh no, he's not done it. Okay.
Yeah, he's on 4. No, he flipped the cards. His fallback's flipped. See at the top. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he's taking the damage. He's taking the damage. So he's on 4 out of 6 hit points. This is Nick Fury Jr., but he did play a fallback and is going to move back because Jim still had Spectacular Spider-Man to activate, and so that's why you saw Joe measuring off of Spectacular Spider-Man to see if he could get in there.
It's Miles, not Spectacular, but yeah.
Hey, Guy from Israel's on the show. Hey, buddy. Shin 40K is on the chat as well. He was at a tournament this past weekend. He was playing New Mutants and almost won, but lost to a Thralls of Dracula player, as it turns out.
But coincidence?
Not sure. Not sure. Well, going 3-1 though, or whatever. How many rounds you went with New Mutants though? That's pretty cool. Cross the Bifrost.
I love playing them. I love.
Yeah, you like New Mutants, do you?
So fun. Yeah, I just don't own like any of the models. I think it's just Emma Frost is the only one I own.
Oh, okay.
Don't read into that. It's fine.
All right, so here's the fallback happening. It has to be away from the attacker. So that's what he was measuring, and it looks like he's also outside of the demon's portal, which is probably what he wants. Unless he moves in. Nope, he does want it. He wants to be incinerated. There we go.
There are loads of small decisions coming out of the players here, which are really interesting to see. Because like you could see an argument to not leave him on the point.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
Because he's going to get incinerated. But actually, it is probably because Joe's going to have priority at the start of the next round, which means no matter what, Nick will be able to get out of the situation. Also, he has the power for eye in the sky as well, so he'll be able to control whether or not he wants to take the next hit.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and he's in a prime position to do a ton of damage if he stays where he is, and he'll be scoring the point. And to be honest, how likely is he to live?
Yeah, exactly.
From Black Bolt anyway. He might not, but I think the risk and the reward might be where he's at with that.
All right, I've just opened up a Glendalough single grain double barrel. I love that. Double barrel. 42% from Ireland. Guy, I'm having whiskey tonight. All the beers are out of the house. All the special Belgian beers are out of the house until I go back to Belgium, hopefully. Hopefully I'll get some when I'm there. And so we're on the Irish whiskey, which is not a disappointment whatsoever. Just different. Yeah, the samples, Guy. Back on the samples. Okay. So don't forget, guys, Jim's been very kindly putting arrows down on his cards, and he's showing us who he's giving power to. Now, it's a little hard for us to follow because I have to zoom out to see it. But rest assured, he's been passing power off to one. In fact, I think he's been putting the Inhumans faction token on the characters that he's given power to. Maybe that's what's going on with those tokens up there. So that's very helpful. Jim's the best. What a nice guy. Joe is a fellow Salt Lord with me, so I have a kindred spirit with him, but he is not as just genuinely nice as Jim. See what I mean? Both are good.
You want a spade? Keep digging a hole?
Both are good. It's just different. Hey, man, we're the cult of the Salt Lords. We're the salt connoisseurs. Me and Joe.
I get it.
Red Cottle in Ireland, he's watching along with us. Not feeling well. Sorry to hear that, buddy. He's drinking honeyed rum, though. That's the spirit. Just burn them out. Burn out those bugs.
Fellow co-host of my podcast.
That's right. Tell everybody, what podcast is that? How could they hear it?
You can listen to Rapid Fire on Spotify. We've been going for more than a year. We, if you do or do not know us, we did the WTC captain interviews, which are really fun, and we still do regular content. So I can't remember what the last one was. Probably a discussion on the new Inhumans characters, actually.
Oh, cool!
And,
great.
Yeah, and a review of the street level tournaments, as we both taken part of some of those.
Love it.
Some of the street level things. So yeah, please listen to us. We love doing it. It's super fun. We love the game. We like being ambassadors. So yeah, thanks.
Cool. So that was Namor. He moved up to the left flank and just did a double move, I think. But he's within 2 now of Toad, so he's in striking distance, getting ready for round 2. And this will be Jim wrapping up the round by activating his last character. That'll be Miles Morales. Let's see where he decides to go. Looks like both players right now will get the bonus VP by virtue of having extract holders within 2 of a friend.
Yeah. So some nice positioning there from Joe, moving Namor up, because he's given himself a second priority activation at the start of the next round. So with the power that he has, Namor will be able to make Toad drop his thing. I think you could do it on these ones. Not a great hit coming out here.
No. 4 blanks and 2 skulls. Good Lord, Jim. All of your intellect is being thwarted by the by the randomness of these dice. All right, so that didn't do anything, obviously. And I think he's done then. I think he had a move to get into that position. I could be wrong. Here's some more dice being rolled, so let's see. Maybe he he got enough power from the Inhumans leadership that he could just web swing himself up there. So he had 2 actions to go. So this is the second action, which is another attack. And he indeed, I think he's dazing the grunts.
The shield grunts, yeah.
Yeah. Now, this is a normal hit, though, and so their special ability is that they get to place the token within 2 of themselves rather than the opponent. So Joe's put it back onto Spectacular Spider-Man. Now, that was not a coincidence, my friends. He put Spectacular Spider-Man and the grunts there just knowing that they would get killed and having now Spectacular holding it on the backside. Next turn, anyway. That is just brilliant. People, pay attention if you want to play good MCP. Pay attention.
Yeah, these two are the best positional MCP players, I think. It's certainly in the UK. It's definitely, like, Joe is fantastic at eking out value from positions, and we're seeing that here for sure.
Yeah. Although I'm going to give another shout out to our good friend Lewis. Lewis was from the London Meta. He played last week. If you want to catch that game, he held his own against a Asgard Thor 2 list for 6 rounds, nearly won it at the very end of the 6th round. Just managed to, and he did so by having very clever positioning that we didn't actually see very straightforwardly at the time, and so it was fun to watch that game. Definitely recommend you guys watch it. It's a nail biter and keeps you enthralled despite being an Asgard game, so I do recommend it. Meanwhile, though, we see these two they're just like they're like savants. They're generals. I don't know how else to express this properly. my appreciation of this. Kenji Lewis is actually in the chat now, and he wants to know, he wants a beverage update. Well, Lewis, I am on these little tasters. I got these little tasters of Irish whiskey from my good friend Pat Long in Ireland. So I am like indulging myself in kind of different tastes as each tube comes out of the bag. Meanwhile, Angus, you're back on.
It is 0%.
Yeah, he's got a big thing tomorrow.
We're being responsible.
He wants to be responsible and still enjoy a tasty beverage that's not a fizzy drink. Yes. That's the lovely thing about these non-alcoholic beers. They do taste actually quite okay, guys. If you look into them, some are not good, but loads of them are. I've tried them. I've tried a lot of them, and during the pandemic, and they were great. And it's really nice to have that kind of a beverage to kind of cleanse your palate when you're having a nice meal, as opposed to like I can't drink a fizzy drink with food. Like that sweetness just doesn't work for me. So try the non-alcoholic beers if you're like me. Okay, Joe, as predicted, is starting his priority turn in round 2 by having Namor attack Toad. Fantastic hit. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Oh, but Jim's saved quite well. He's got 2 saves so far. That means 2 are going to go through, but that's perfect for Namor because that means his charge is online and he can go after the slippery bastard.
This actually wasn't it wasn't a builder. This was his spender. So he used his spender to guarantee that Toad drops his extract. And we're not sure what mode, but I would assume he probably picked the mode where you can interact with extracts after this. So whatever happens, Toad was never going to keep that. That's why he moved him up there. He's always going to have that power that he needs on the first round as long as he doesn't interact. So it was a really nice play. It's the best use of Namor is this sort of thing where you can get in there, take something off them, and then leave without them being able to do anything about it. So, yes, we're seeing Toad running for his life now, presumably trying to avoid getting charged by Shang-Chi, which is what he's measuring out there.
Yeah, so that Spender has 3 different abilities with it, Namor Spender, and one of them is that the opponent has to drop the extract regardless if they get dazed or whatever. So you see it on the floor now next to him.
Yeah.
But that means he did do damage to Toad and gave him enough power so he could still do slippery, and so that's why you saw Toad now just move medium.
Thanks, guys. You might be able to tell I also don't really play Namor. I just have a healthy appreciation for people playing Namor well. But yes, I know he could drop the extract, but I thought they were the same mode. Thanks for the correction. Yeah.
Namor's using his second action to fade back into the middle of the fight here. And why that's important is he has like Baron Zemo 1, he has a reroll bubble of 2 around him. So Joe putting him into a position to help his other team mates. Yes, Spectacular Spider-Man should be incinerated. I correct. That is an oversight. Maybe they just didn't put token down. Thank you, Glenn.
What do you do in this position, Norbert?
What's that?
After seeing Namor.
So
so there's an extract on the floor which would give Jim
where
parity next to Spectacular Spider-Man. He couldn't pick it up.
Oh, you didn't pick it up yet. Yeah.
Right. Are you going for that, or are you gonna just dive in there and start
with this team? You mean, right? If I were playing Jim's team, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would start attritioning. Black Bolt is too good. He's often you try to stop his action economy by going someplace where he can't get to you, and then he's sad having to move. In this situation, I would go on the attack with Black Bolt. That's me though. And don't forget, Nick Fury is holding an extract, and he can't just toss it anywhere he wants. Only the grunts can. Because Jim, I don't think has anybody terribly tanky. Like even Black Bolt would go down there, pick that one up. He'd still get beaten up. Now, of course, he'd be on his injured side, which Joe probably doesn't like. But he wouldn't be keeping that VP. Yeah. So Namor's done. Jim's now considering his options. He's weighing them out. He's letting the AI in his brain calculate through all the possibilities. And it looks like, as I predicted, look at me. Look at me. I'm like a shadow of Jim intelligence. And I called it. Black Bolt attacking Nick Fury. Of course, Nick Fury now is using his bloody eye in the sky and is fading back, which means Joe foils that attack and Jim gets refunded the action. And it looks like he's going to go onto the back point. Keep in mind, Nick has an extract with him.
So you can see that the two teams have kind of set up their bunkers here, with Jim's being around Black Bolt, who can bodyguard.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And Joe's being around Namor, who has the reroll bubbles and that inherent leadership tankiness as well. So we're seeing... Yeah, I mean, and I think we will continue to see this jostling for position until someone manages to break the other castle. It's very interesting. These sorts of safety plays, burning the 3 power now in the eye in the sky now, might cost Joe later on. We don't know. We'll see what happens.
How do you get the card back? Do you remember how to get the card back into your hand?
Yeah, it's if you're shield affiliated at the end of the turn, either clean up or power phase.
You just get it back. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yes. It's good, right?
Yeah.
It's good.
Sounds good to me. Wow. Okay. So yeah, he's burned that, but he's also in the Namor bubble now as well. Joe's really set this up well. He's giving Jim a run for his money. And Jim's not happy with where Black Bolt is right now. And this is the problem with Black Bolt right here.
Is he within... It looks like he's within 3 of Shang as well, which is obviously not great on account of him counted blanks.
Right. Within 3.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's going to move. What's he moving? Just short on purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just a short move.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And here he goes. He's within range 4 of Nick Fury. Again, Nick Fury causing problems, but Nick Fury now has a reroll. Let's see how the dice gods decide.
So the total rerolls that Nick Fury is getting here, he is getting the Namor reroll.
Yep.
Then he's getting 2 from the leadership, so 3 defensive rerolls on this, including unlocked skulls.
Yeah. But alas, exactly, right on, Angus. Alas, the dice gods are overpower all that rational logic and have let those 2 damage go through, dazing him, and so Joe's put down the token. See, this is Caesar, Julius Caesar in a nutshell. You know, he said, "I'd rather be lucky than good," and this is why. Joe did everything right. He had it all set up. He was doing the good thing, but Jim was just luckier. Cheers, Jim. You maniac up north. God, I don't think they heat their houses up there. I don't know how they play. Maybe they use the laptops to keep them warm.
I think it's still cold, mate.
Yeah, that's how it is up there. So, my dog, I told you.
I don't feel good about that. I immediately
regret that. Yeah, see, this is the bad influence I am on you. It's really terrible. I'm also making Gen Z. I'm encouraging Gen Z people to drink alcoholic beverages when that's not there. The zeitgeist is against that sort of thing. It's just, yeah. I'm like, what's the guy in Omen, that TV show? I want to be the the bad angel guy, demon guy. Do you know?
The Good Omens. It's,
Good Omens.
Is it Crowley? Is that the name of the?
It might be. Guy? Yeah. Crowley. Bad guy. I beg your pardon.
He's the demon, right? He's the demon.
Are they necessarily bad or just misunderstood?
Yeah. Thanks, Mofar. You're on it. I actually knew that off the top of my head. I wasn't just stealing from the comment section and passing it off as my own work. I made this. No. Yeah. Okay. So, successful activation from Black Bolt, I reckon. The attrition game plan's going well. It looks like Joe is coming in with Shang-Chi here, which is exciting. He's always I mean, he's good into the majority of these characters on account of his big dice pool and mystic attacks. Good into both Black Bolt and Miles. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so Shang-Chi is now charging into Black Bolt. Now, look, first of all, Black Bolt's not easy to hurt in the first instance, but he also has that real pain thing where he gets switched on his injured side with his Whisper attack. Did I tell you, I actually watched the entire run of the Inhumans TV show? Did you watch it?
No.
Yes. And it's as terrible as everybody says it is. And
Yes.
I couldn't stop watching it because of just how I said, surely this has to warm up at some point. And it did not at all. Oh my God. It was so bad. Especially Black Bolt. It was embarrassing. That poor actor, what he had to put up with to try to play that character. He literally did one superpower thing at the beginning and then nothing else except try to do like these fake hand signals. And the entire family didn't really understand him. Like they don't know what his hand signals are. And I'm like, he's the bloody king. Nobody bothered to learn sign language to communicate with him? Like, what? Okay, Shang-Chi is charged. He's charged onto the secure and within one of the extract and is now going to attack Black Bolt with his range 2 attack. And what did the dice gods say? Ooh, almost a Yahtzee, Joe. You blew it. You blew it. But that is 3 hits with the crit rolling into another hit. That's 4 hits into just 1 save. So 3 are going to go through. Oh, is there a Namor reroll? No, can't be that close. So Black Bolt takes 3 damage, 3 out of 6 hit points, and Shang-Chi still gets to go.
Yeah, that's the stagger as well, right? Is that it? Is it Wild Shield for the stagger?
Yep.
That's gotta burn. Doesn't feel good, but that is what he's here for, right?
Yeah. Well,
crit shield. Sorry.
Crit shield.
You can tell I'm not 100% familiar with all of these characters.
Well, how can you be? The game's gotten so large these days.
Yeah.
Only.
Yeah. I get me back on for the next time someone plays Abomination.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then you're all over the poison mechanic there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So that is the end of. Is it Shang-Chi? No, Shang-Chi's still going. They're still debating who else he's gonna talk to. But yes, folks. El Mofar makes the point that Bodyguard, Black Bolt has Bodyguard, and all the other characters haven't activated yet. So he's also stunned, apparently. I think, or yeah, is that the stun symbol? I'm not used to the new symbols yet.
That is the stun symbol. Yeah. It's Shang-Chi's after attack ability. I'm going to get it off my phone so I can actually give credence to the.
There you go. Get that Jarvis protocol fired up. If you're not using Jarvis's protocol, folks, think about your life choices. It is fantastic. It will help you play this game better, and it is just a lot of fun to have in your pocket.
This is Shang-Chi's 5-element fist using 1-inch punch to choose an enemy character within 2 and of size 3 or less and push it away short. If it contains a character or terrain feature, if it contacts a character or terrain feature during this push, it gains the stun special condition. So he's pushed him away. He's stunned him.
El Mofar says you have to touch terrain for it to. No, El Mofar corrected himself. His character as well. Hey, don't doubt the Angus, Mofar.
If it looks like I'm reading off Jarvis, you can trust me. If it looks like it's off the top of my head, don't trust me. I'll just be guessing. I'll just be guessing.
They're still trying to figure out what to do with Shang-Chi. Second activation here. Joe's really milking this one. He wants all the airtime. He's air position is he's like Trump in that way. Just wants attention. Doesn't matter what kind of nonsense is he spouting. Hey, dude, did you see that Henry Cavill is the lead actor, the protagonist in a reboot of the Highlander series, or a remake, I should say, of the first Highlander?
I saw that and I thought it was fake.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm too what's the word?
Jaded.
Suspicious.
Suspicious. Okay.
I like the original Highlander, and I watched.
Me too.
I watched the. Is it 2 sequels there are?
Yeah.
They go really wild.
Yeah. It gets a little crazy. Yeah.
He's definitely well suited for it, right? He's a boy.
I'd love to see him with long hair and all kind of dirty like the original Highlander guy was. That would be pretty intense. Oh man, I really hope that's true for two reasons. Not only because it's Henry Cavill, but also just a remake of the original Highlander would just be amazing, because that is a cult hit. That is look, Gen Z, time for school, okay, people. I know you don't have a lot of good attention span, but you need to watch Highlander. Stream it, with subtitles, all the things that you do now. But watch it. Do yourself that favor. Highlander is low budget. It's going to look, not the slickest, but it is just so engrossing and has spawned so much lore since its release. You need to see it. And if Henry Cavill remakes it in a more modern style, meaning like better production value and all that kind of jazz, I am here for it. Holy moly, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely, if you like sword fights, it's like the sword fight film. That's kind of the whole point.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've seen.
Yeah. What's happened? Yeah. No. You tell us. Go for it.
Oh, so
what does Shang-Chi end up doing? He just picked up the token and then stood on the secure a little bit differently, right?
Yeah, he shuffled backwards. He probably doesn't feel that worried about his current position, which I kind of get. Black Bolt is currently staggered. Miss Marvel does hit very hard, but Quicksilver's not really a threat. And then we've seen Jim jump in there, or rather double walk in there with Miles, grab the paranoia at the feet of the other Spider-Man, and then just web swing back out. Heist completed. So he's trying to stay in safety, no doubt. Both teams are kind of running low on gun, at least until you get to Miss Marvel. So they're kind of positioning, I think, for the next round of jousting. The sort of back and forth you get on Demons. It looks like Jim is setting up a. Oh God, I'm gonna forget the name again. Hold on, I'm just gonna consult the device, so I can give it proper credence. Finders keepers of Quicksilver is what I think is going on here. So,
super cool.
Yeah, so he'll free up that card. Can I borrow that? That will be online again if you can take that extract off Quicksilver. And then Toad loves to be sat at the back with a point. It's what he wants to be doing. So that's some nice positioning for next round.
And he also he passed the power on to, I think it was Quicksilver, but cheers to Jim for being so conscientious about those things, because the arrows to help us understand what's going on. Man, that's nice. Some other fellow, good, longtime viewers in the chat today. Mid-Table Obscurity, hey buddy. Moon Shoes, good to have you back. Who else here? Tarnium, Tatted Colossus, yeah. TG Lord even. Hey, my fellow salt connoisseur. Hey buddy. All the way from down under, if I recall correctly. Good to have you all here with us tonight. I'm debating whether I should limit myself to one sampler per round. Is that a good way to time this? I'm just too excited at the beginning of these games, and so I tend to not focus on what I'm doing with the drinking.
Yeah.
So
maybe we can tell.
I bumbled through the intro today terribly. I apologize if people. That was really bad. I was a little frazzled from work, so I'm doing better now. Okay, Quicksilver doing a short move onto the size 4 truck there, garbage truck. You know what? You know how in Britain they have slightly different words sometimes from American English, right? I've yet to have a native Brit tell me what they call the thing that comes around and takes the rubbish away from your house and packs it up and brings it somewhere. What is that vehicle called in British English?
Well, I feel like I've just been polluted by the idea of garbage truck, but that's not right. It's not garbage truck.
There you go. See, this is the thing. I mean, if it was perfectly British English, as far as I could tell, it should be rubbish lorry. But that doesn't make any sense. People don't say that. Rubbish lorry?
I think it might be. I'm gonna look like a fool if I say anything here, Norbert. You've poisoned me.
I know.
With the North American twang.
Bin lorry? That's what they say in Ireland. Red Cottle. Bin lorry. Yeah. Stone Crow.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Bin lorry. Okay.
Bin lorry. Yeah, get me out of trouble.
All right, so Quicksilver actually shook his incinerate and then moved off of the point onto the truck to give himself cover. He is holding a extract, so that seems like a good move by Jim to kind of just protect him. He's got good defense tech as well on top of the cover that he's going to get from that truck, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
I think.
yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to say overall, if you're looking for good technique here in terms of the game, I think one of the things these guys are both doing really well is they're not overreaching on account of losing something, so they're not overreacting to their opponent. You can see here, Jim is still setting things up for the next round. Joe's trying to keep his pieces safe and retreating.
Yeah.
He's not overreaching or trying to overreact to the early damage that came in, and it's a really good thing to practice in games is to actually work out what you need to do. How do you keep your engine running? And admittedly, Inhumans have a lot of engine to run. There's lots of moving parts in an Inhumans list, but the same is true of Shield. But we can all learn from that. Don't overstretch in these situations.
You make a good point, and that has always been one of the catchphrases of Sooner, one of the greats in this game as well, coming out of the Texas area. He says, "Play to your outs," and I think what that, for me anyway, what I interpret that as is, you may have a plan going into the match, but then things happen. Right? Claw switch, no plan survives contact with the enemy. And so that means you have to start switching to your outs, which means, like you were saying, Angus, do I start trying to kill people? Do I start trying to run away? Do I start trying to manipulate the other person off of points? Things like that. And Joe's got to do that now. Joe's got to figure out, what are his outs and then change his game plan accordingly. Spectacular Spider-Man moves up onto the central secure within range 3 of Black Bolt. Joe not happy about Black Bolt there. Now, interestingly, when I come... Oh, no, he is going to attack Miles right across from him and, I guess, encourage Black Bolt to bodyguard it.
Yeah, so both of Spectacular Spider-Man's attacks are gainers. So whatever happens, he's going to have enough power to do either a throw or... he didn't web swing to get there, did he? He just walked, I think. So he'll have his options at least for where he wants to end up, and where he wants the other team to end up. And you can see that Jim's done a similar thing in terms of trying to give himself options for messing with the opponent's movement, because Ms. Marvel also has a size 2 character throw that is now online. So both players are looking to do a bit of late game or late round disruption.
All right, here's the attack. Spectacular Spider-Man does not do well. 2 hits with a crit. Crit rolls into another hit, so he's got 3 hits, but into 2 saves. So only 1 damage going through on Black Bolt, who can easily absorb that. Or sorry,
Have we seen the? This is into Black Bolt, I think.
Well,
I think he bodyguarded it, did he?
Yeah, I would have thought.
Yeah. He does have the Inhuman reroll after.
Ah, of course. Oh, he saved 2 already. Let's see. I hear the dice being rolled once more. Yep. No, didn't work. So he's going to take 1, which he's perfectly fine with. Is there a throw as part of this attack? That's probably...
It's not part of the attack.
He's just doing he's using the power to throw him.
It looks like it. He might not. He hasn't spent it yet, so we don't know for sure. But yeah, it's always good to disrupt Black Bolt and get him out of position.
Sweepy Man coming, first time chatter. Thanks, buddy. He said there have 100% been games where I felt out of it and then clawed back. That is truth, brother. Never give up, MCP. Never, ever, ever give up. All kinds of wild stuff happens, and you can get inspired towards the end of the match. Things happen, or things just don't happen for the opponent. So don't give up. Definitely, the game isn't over until it's legitimately over.
And you don't know when your opponent's going to make a fatal mistake as well.
Yeah.
That happens to me. I've certainly won games that I should not have won because my opponent has just done something that they shouldn't have done.
Yeah. Which you like Napoleon says, never interrupt the enemy when they're making a mistake.
Yeah, literally, yeah. I don't play all my games like that, but at tournaments when I want to run for the win,
You let them make the mistake.
Yep. Yep.
All right. That was the throw then. As for Black Bolt at the bottom, Spider-Man moves on to the secure. I think he was already on the secure, so beg your pardon.
Yeah.
He ends his activation. That's a Joe done. Jim has just got Ms. Marvel left to go. A lot of hand waving going on. They're probably high-fiving each other for just how brilliantly they're beating each other up, because that's just the Northern way.
So I think there's a line here where Jim can get a points lead if he can disrupt the characters here. So we've got the two.
Ms. Marvel is attacking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Specky.
So if Miss Marvel gets the pull on this attack, he'll be able to disrupt the extra point that you can get within 2 for Joe, and then maybe if he gets it on, and he's got it on the first one, so we might see Miss Marvel move on to the middle here, and Jim might finish on a pretty sizable points lead. If everything goes how I expect it to go.
Okay, there's the pull off of the point, so he's no longer securing the middle. Although Shang-Chi is already going to get Joe that point. Sorry, guys. Move that out of the way. And what else? Kamala's going to do. It looks like she's passing a power on. Thank you, Jim. And now is going to... Kamala about to take out the rubbish. Thank you, Mike DeLuca, Californian, using British English with an American idiom. Amazing. You got to respect that kind of layered troll. Kamala just moving up into the point to deny Joe the VP.
I think we're going to see her throw Shang-Chi off here. Probably, maybe not, but I would personally. Yes, here we go. So disrupting that that important range 2, which is important for scoring the point and winning that middle point as well. So
wow, Joe.
Yeah, Ms. Marvel's great.
Yeah.
If you haven't played her, she's really good. She's not even doing the other half of what she's very good at, which is punching stuff here. But yes, some great. More positional play there. Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
so
just for a wild.
That's
Easy.
it. So round 2 is over. Thank God, and I can open my new sampler. This is the rye and malt single malt, rye and malt single malt, 46% ABV. But it's apparently 80 euros for a bottle of this. Yikes! Wow. Okay, let's see what this is all about. All right, that's Jim, though, still ahead, despite all that. Well, no, actually, all that clever maneuvering at the end got him extra points. So he's on 9 points to Joe's 6. Joe's doing well, but he's still behind in points significantly.
Yeah, it was that last Miss Marvel. Essentially, her getting the wild on that attack, on that first attack, opened up this entire line because she could then disrupt 2 characters and move them both away from each other, and away from Namor, who had the other extract. So that last wild was really important, and maybe this may be the point where the game has swung on points, because now if they keep parity, Jim will obviously win because he's points ahead. So it's all to play for.
Oh, for sure. And Joe's definitely not out of it, not by a long shot. No. But he's got a plan. So the boys are taking a little potty break, so we can promote a couple of big events coming up. So listen, guys, if you want to really experience the full extent of this hobby, you need to come to a convention of some kind. Some sort of 2-day, possibly 3-day event to play MCP, but be hanging out with people, for more than just a couple hours while you're playing a game is such a important part of this hobby. I encourage you highly to do it. So I have options for you. In March, the 7th through 9th of March, the Belgium Masters is happening in Leopoldsburg, Belgium. The only American-style convention where you can play multiple tournaments on Friday and Saturday to try to qualify for an invitational. It's the only one like that in Europe. So go to see that. I'm going to be there. It's going to be fantastic. Really good value. Fantastic beer, of course, and good chippies. Amazing good French fries or Belgian fries. That's March. May 17th to the 18th, come to London. We are doing another one of our 2-day events where we have a special pod system so that no matter how badly you do on the first day, you still have something to fight for on the Sunday. It was a huge success in January. We're running it again in May. Come along to that event. That is the Mutant Weekender Extinction Agenda, happening May 17th to 18th. And lastly, in June, look it up for me, buddy. June 11th, maybe? Oh, man, I've forgotten now. It's the Multiverse of Malmo tournament. It's happening in Malmo, Sweden, in a microbrewery with literally 30 or so, or maybe 40 different types of beers on tap for you to enjoy, plus barbecue food, playing 2 days of events there as well. And I'm going to that one, and it's going to be so good. So good. So do this, folks. Plan it. Bring your friends.
8th and 9th of June.
Thanks, buddy.
That is
8th and 9th of June for the Multiverse of Malmo. It'll be in the show notes as well if you're watching this on YouTube. Okay, so Jim started the round, and I think he used Miles to attack Spectacular Spider-Man. Or is the other way around? Joe had... Who had priority? Oh, I should have...
Joe had priority. Yeah, so that's Spectacular Spider-Man into Miles.
Okay, and he did a great hit. Miles did not save very well at all. He took 4 hit points that time out of his 5. That is awful. And the next attack is also quite good. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits into 1 save only. Jim, that was bad for Jim. This is what he shouldn't have gone to the toilet. You know, the urgency was probably piquing his intellectual abilities. And now that he's relaxed, he's kind of let his foot off the gas. And here's what happens. That's Miles Days dropping his token. Spectacular Spider-Man still has an action to go.
Was that not his second attack?
Did he move to get into that position? Or did he? Oh, he did do 2 attacks. Yes, he did too. Yeah.
So he's got the short move follow-up for the attack. So pursuit, I think it might be called, or something. I'll do it. I'm gonna look it up. Basically, he can hit the trigger for the follow-up move. So a short move to reshuffle his Spider-Man, which is great because he can get onto this point, get into the nice safe Namor bubble, and get cracking. Because this needs to be Joe's turn, really. He's gonna if Joe doesn't come out of this turn, closing that gap a little bit, he's gonna be in big trouble. And that's step 1 complete.
All right. So where's Spectacular? Okay, he's on the secure there with Kamala. Got it. All right, so over to Jim, I guess.
I think if I was Jim, I'd be playing for the bottom of the round here. Most of his characters are in good positions.
How did Black Bolt get so far away?
It was a throw from Spectacular Spider-Man.
Oh, he did that too.
The last round.
God, Spec. Yeah. Again, such a great character. Yeah. Great 3-threat. Beautiful sculpt as well.
Yeah. Looks like we're seeing the thing that us in the chat called out. Thanks very much, chat. The Finders Keepers here, I think, from Toad. So he's going to take the extract off Quicksilver and enable Jim to look for that late game point swing like he did in the last round, using either Quicksilver or maybe Kamala, or Black Bolt, I suppose, if he comes in. But he's looking for that last, what did I call it? I did call it Finders Keepers, right?
Yep, you did it right. You did good.
Yeah, great.
That's just Red Coddle, your co-host, trolling you.
Yeah. Elusive, and that's the name of the...
So Toad took that thing. I think he's off the point. Yeah, he's not on the secure. He's firmly hidden behind that size 4 truck. Lorry.
I don't know why he would be off the point there.
Doesn't want to be incinerated.
He's already on fire.
Oh, he is, yeah. I don't know. Maybe he had to be there to do the Finders Keepers.
He might be right at the edge as well of the point. It could be. Sometimes happens with TTS.
Yep, that's true too. Yeah. Okay. This is now Joe back in action.
So Joe's obviously worried about Black Bolt. He doesn't want to give Black Bolt an easy attack, but he's currently staggered and way into the distance, so he's probably quite rightly being quite wary of getting anywhere close to him. He's really the center of the power for the Inhumans, right? He's the biggest gun they have for sure. Apart from maybe Miss Marvel, I think, if you haven't played against her, Miss Marvel, when you want to lay down some damage, can really put it out against a team like this. She's very strong. Yeah, the new Inhumans card would be very good right now. That would be excellent. That box is looking great. It's going to be a super fun box to play, and all of the characters in there look great. It looks so fun. Hear about it more on Rapid Fire, our latest episode.
Ooh, man, you certainly warmed up to the shilling. It only took like 3 episodes, and you're just right there.
I learned this from watching you, Norbert.
Guilty as charged. All right. Joe's still deciding which characters he wants to activate here. We have a new Across the Bifrost episode coming out this Friday, as usual, Friday mornings for your weekend pleasure. And we do a nice box review this time around. If you don't already know, we interviewed some studio members of Atomic Mass Games, I think 1 episode ago, if not 2. And we talked about the new Crises coming out in March, so you may like to tune in for that.
Yeah, it was a good episode. It's really nice to hear the developers of the game just spouting lyrical. It's nice to know that the way that we like the game is mirrored on the other side, and they clearly have loved developing the next set of Crises and that sort of thing. So yeah, it was a really good episode. Conversation was flowing.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. But yes, I love interviewing. It's something I really enjoy, and I feel like it's going to be my retirement plan. You know, when people get tired of Gen Z TikTok videos, they're going to want some long-form podcasts from an old geezer like me. And I'll
what
be
about
ready.
Joe Rogan? He's already got that slot, hasn't he? Old geezer.
How old is Joe Rogan?
4 hours.
Please look him up. Somebody look him up. I'm curious to see how old he is. I think he's younger than me, though. But he still might be Gen X. Yeah, and he's crushing it out of Texas. Whether that's good or not is a different question. But yeah, somebody look up Joe Rogan's age, please. Be curious now that. So curious about age. You're bringing up age a lot, Angus. First, let's see, what is Shield? So Joe's finally decided to activate Nick Fury Jr. Nick Fury's attacking Kamala. And that's 2 hits only into no saves. Is that correct?
God, yeah, so she's on fire. So
fire. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He's got Joe's got a reroll here from Namor, which I don't think he's used yet. And there's the bleed as well, which is obviously good to see. But yeah, she's really stacking some conditions there. Incinerate and bleed is not a great place to be.
So apparently Joe Rogan is 57. So he's actually older than me and in the Gen X category. So yeah, I could do it then. If he could do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing's stopping you.
I'm going to be like the anti Joe Rogan. I'll be like the exact opposite of him. I'm not going to be, I'm a doughy nerd. He's he's very buff now. What was he a fighter before this? Like, what was his thing before he got into
He's a comedian, and he's also a kickboxer.
Oh, okay.
But not exactly doughy, but I certainly won't weigh in on the politics of it all, but he is a very famous podcaster. But you can hold a conversation. I think you'd do great.
Thank you.
No problem.
I think it would be fun. So yeah, if I retire or am forced to retire early from my regular gig, I'd like to try to work up something into a long form discussion. Right. What has happened here? Nick
To be clear, neither of us are out here promoting Joe Rogan. I just know he's a famous podcaster that does long-form podcasts. I'm not promoting Joe Rogan at all.
I'm not sure, Angus. Of course, last episode you did kind of downplay how many people are in estate housing, as if that was a bad thing, and now you're espousing the virtues of Joe Rogan. I'm not sure.
I don't like this. This is not how you get me to come back, Norbert.
You have to come back to correct the record, Angus. I've actually just locked you in.
Oh my god. This is not the direction I thought this was going to go.
That's the beauty of this show.
Yeah. The chat is clearly they're learning from you, Norbert. They know how to get under my skin.
All right, so that is Nick Fury attacking that was into Kamala. He only did 2 hit points. But I think Kamala is now attacking Nick Fury back. I saw the arrows going to the same 2 characters.
I think this is spectacular. I think.
Ooh. I think
yes. Maybe, I don't know. Oh no, it must be spectacular because this is a physical attack, and spectacular has 3 physical and he's on fire. So, yeah, no damage there though. But I suspect he's looking for that cheeky wild again. Trying to get not quite yet. Trying to get spectacular off the point so he can then throw Nick off the point and continue to completely ruin Joe's day.
Have you read the chat about the Joe Rogan stuff we said?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. The chat's got me. It's got me dead to rights. I don't like it. I don't like being
Oh my god. At your next job, when the AI starts scraping the internet to find out about you, you're gonna come up on Joe Rogan. I'm sorry, Angus. This is higher stakes than I thought that you realized when you accepted. All right. Okay. Oh man, I love watching this game. This is the best. Okay.
Hey, they're whipping you into it now. Yeah, that's right. I wonder how Pat and TT will feel about the new direction of Across the Bifrost. Republican Across the Bifrost. You heard it here first.
It's like it jumped over the Bifrost. Okay. What's happening?
We're way behind on the game. Sorry.
I know. Come on, we got to catch up. Let's be serious. Come on, buckle down.
I'm locked in.
Okay, so what happened? Spectacular Spider-Man did what?
No, so Spectacular Spider-Man hasn't gone. That was Miss Marvel, Kamala Harris's activation here. Kamala Harris? That's not right. No.
Spectacular Spider-Man's got a tick on him.
Yeah, he activated earlier, Norbert.
Oh, right.
So Miss Marvel attacked, was looking for the wild on Spectacular Spider-Man, didn't get it, didn't do any damage. Attacked, was looking for the wild and Spectacular Spider-Man, didn't get it, didn't do any damage. So just threw him off the point. She's excellent. I think this character's woefully underplayed. I'm sure she won't be when the new Inhumans box comes out, because she's a bit of an all-star.
You think she synergizes even more with the new leadership?
I think, to be honest, I think she's just one of the best, the better 3 threats. She's not in that S tier, but she's very close to it. And I think she's a bit affiliation locked. But the new Inhuman stuff coming out should be primed and ready.
Cool.
So that's Shang coming in, right? Is this Shang?
It's going into Dazed Kamala. Yeah.
That is a proper Yahtzee right there.
Oh, well done, Joe. Bonus VP.
I need to not talk about anything to do with American politics right now.
You really lit them up.
I don't want anything to do with this. I'm sorry I brought this to you, Norbert. This has got nothing to do with me.
I think I've
kind of unhappy circumstance.
I think I've led you into this, so I have to take some of the responsibility. Yeah, that's Shang.
If I get promoted, this is going to be on you.
Okay, what happened now?
Okay, so that was Shang activating. He beat up Kamala, she's gone, and he's sat there on the point, looking pleased with himself because he didn't have enough power to charge.
Ah, okay, good.
So he just walked onto the point and knocked her head off.
Okay. That means it's up to Jim. Jim's got Quicksilver and Black Bolt left to go. Quicksilver's up on the lorry/truck, and Black Bolt is woefully outside of range 4. Jim not happy about that.
Yeah.
And I note now Joe's got 3 extracts, possibly 1 secure. Whew. This would be a nice swing back for him in round 3.
At least slowing the bleeding, it looks like. We'll see where everybody ends up. And we do have Eye in the Sky available, which could at some point result, and it might even be here, result in a bit of a point swing. Yeah, there you go. As
oh my God, that is a kick in the nuts. So Black Bolt went to go shoot Spectacular Spider-Man. He was well within 4, but this is now the Eye in the Sky letting him do the fallback, and he will be probably outside of 4. Let's see. Okay, the card's in the way, folks. Easily. Yeah. Which makes Black Bolt so upset. He's like the Black Bolt from that horrible TV show. He's just like, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's outside, Joe. I think you're good.
So he's just going to wander back in. He will at least be in a better position for next round, though. And he's back in bodyguard range of his 2 little buddies, and particularly Miles Morales, who is in fact holding an extract, so he doesn't want him to die for sure.
So Black Bolt used one of his actions to move forward. He's just checking to see if he's within 1 of the secure, but it does not look like, according to the videotape.
Yeah.
There used to be a New York City sportscaster on television back in the old days when we had 3 channels or 4 channels to watch, literally. I could tell you about that sometime, Gen Z. Just write in the chat if you're interested. And he would do, like, he would say, this is, he would say, this is how the game went, this is this and this, but then this happened, or something spectacular would happen, and he goes, let's go to the videotape. And he would swing his arm over to point at the wall or something, and then the videotape would play videotape. But now they would just stream the scene that the guy was talking about, and he would say that was kind of his catchphrase. Let's go to the videotape. And I've just done that here on this show. I feel like I've really brought this forward.
I'm just waiting for it to come back. Oh, okay. So we're resetting the positions, I think, because there's a bit of the Demon Port was at an angle, and they want to make sure they're getting a good read to see if Black Bolt's actually in range or not.
Yep. I thought he was out, but I guess they hadn't agreed yet. Joe was not giving in on that one. Joe's like, look, we're both from the north, but I'm going to have to ask to disagree with you here. But it looks like he's still out, Black Bolt. Yeah,
it looks
still out.
Toad is now back in, though. We've got confirmation. Toad was, in fact, always within range of the point.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah, good old Toad hiding back there. God, that is a bored state for Toad. Man. It's perfect. All right, so Black Bolt has still 1 action to go. He's got his big ass.
He was staggered.
Oh, he was only staggered.
He was staggered.
Oh, yeah. God. No wonder Jim's in trouble here.
Right? Yeah, he's activated. He was staggered, yeah. So he's just moved back in, and that's that. But Jim can at least rest on the laurels, knowing he has got a pretty big points lead on this kind of map. So we'll see what actually shakes out here, but it is looking like Joe's going to have a big swing back. We'll see where everyone ends up. And
Quicksilver still to go, though, right?
Yeah. So Quicksilver still could sidle down somewhere and then steal someone's paranoia, and this might be the turn for that. We'll see what happens.
Angus, in the meantime, maybe you should get into some Jordan Peterson. You want to talk about him a little bit?
Comment.
No.
The more I give you about someone like that, I think it might be misconstrued by chat. Something about the way this has gone, it makes me think that if I talk about someone, it might end up not in my favor. I can learn. I'm a guy. I learn. I'm in the academic sphere. I know.
Namor moves on to the back point. You're only doing this because you're drinking Guinness Zero instead of the full fat Guinness.
If I was halfway through a regular Guinness by now, you have no idea the sorts of things I'd be saying.
You'd be like talking about the Thanksgiving dinner you had at Jordan Peterson's house. Okay, Namor moves on to the back point. Let's see what he does with his second. He does nothing with the second action. He's just going to sit there holding his extract and feeling very safe.
Yeah, he's protecting his buddies as well with his leadership. Not leadership. His forgotten the name for it. His reroll is within 2 reroll, so they're getting extra dice. The defensive bubble is up, but it's not really been a very punchy game. There's been lots of throwing and the occasional attack coming out here or there, but we've not seen that full on like blazing damage that you sometimes expect from demons. Oof, decisions. So I think Jim must be considering the steal here.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to salvage some of this extract disparity he's got going on. He's so who has it? Shang-Chi, Spectacular Spider-Man, and Namor all have extracts. Namor is rather far back. Might be hard to get to him, but Quicksilver could get to either one, a Spectacular or Shang-Chi, right in the center of the board.
Yeah, I think that the easiest target is Spectacular Spider-Man here because he's the one that is on fire, but they're all getting a load of defensive.
You're going for the attack, though? Are you going to go for the attack? I thought you just used his card.
You have to do damage with the card.
Oh, even with the card. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so he's probably going to Speedster to get 2 shots of it at it. Charismatic leader, yeah, thanks. And yes, yeah, exactly. Blanks or rerolls, and also it's 4 dice with the defensive stuff with Shang-Chi. That doesn't feel good.
So yeah, you were right. He goes after Spectacular. Let's see if he can do this damage. This is crucial. 2 bites at the apple.
Does he need it?
No, oh god.
That's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it. No.
Nope.
We go again. To be fair, so Quicksilver doesn't have the aggressive Inhumans reroll, does he? He only has it. He has the defensive.
Oh, Jim gives up. He doesn't.
Okay.
He's saving it for next round. He's giving up. He's walked back right up onto the truck. Wow, interesting. Wow, good comeback for Joe in round 3. Amazing work by both of these players, keeping this game so tight the entire time. So that's 12 points for Jim and 12 for Joe. 12 up. Wow. Feeling very X-Men-y. Joe's known for his X-Men and his late game recoveries to the win. And that seems like what's happening here. Maybe Jim's just not used to that coming out of S.H.I.E.L.D. Invaders. Yeah. You know, we mentioned Jordan Peterson and we got 3 more viewers in the chat, so...
The bots are coming! The bots are coming!
I'm just playing the algorithm, people. I know you don't like it. It's just I'm just a player. Hate the game.
So Joe's feeling pretty good about this, but he's still definitely treading a tightrope. There are many, many, many avenues for this to go wrong for him, despite having the extract lead here. But he does have first activation. He does have Nick Fury in range. I would love to see Nick Fury come in here and get as many attacks out as he can. Use all the cool reroll tech that I spoke about at the start of the game with the grunts and stuff. We'll see if that happens. I don't know. It's maybe not Joe's style, but it is certainly cool to watch.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm super stoked to see how Jim manages this now. As you mentioned, Joe's got 3 extracts 1 secure. So that's easily enough. Let's see, 12. He's 4 to win. Yeah, that would win him in the game. But Jim understands this, and he's got a plan. He's got a lot of good characters in the right positions right now to do something about it. And it looks like Black Bolt is going to go into Nick Fury.
No, it said Nick Fury, going into Black Bolt.
Sorry. Yeah, Nick Fury into Black Bolt. Here we go.
I think this is a suspender. Is this a suspender? No.
Oh my God! 4 blanks.
No, just a regular attack.
Reroll from Namor. Reroll rolls into another hit. 2 hits for Nick Fury into 3 saves by Jim. But he,
like I said, fearsome attacks. Fearsome.
He puts bleed on Black Bolt. Black Bolt is on 3 out of 6 hit points. Second action. What's Nick Fury? How does he get his shield agents back?
He spends 3, or does his spender, I believe.
Okay.
It's a bit different for each of the Grunts characters. I'll just get it up now.
Okay, another attack into Black Bolt. Not sure it was the spender. It seems like it's another normal hit.
Yeah, so it's a superpower called in the cavalry. If there are no allied shield agents characters in play, place it in play within 3 of this character with an activated token. It may immediately interact with 1 extract objective token.
Oh, that's nice. Squad. How much? He spends 3 power. 2 power.
2, so 2 power to do that. And his spender, which does trigger the Grunts to attack. And advance is 3 power. So he doesn't quite have enough power to do everything.
Okay. Anyway, Joe's still working on what to do with the second action. Hasn't happened yet. Okay, dice are being rolled.
It's not a spender. It must be the same attack I would have thought.
Mm-hmm. And not a good hit again. 2 successes with a crit.
Look at that. Look at that.
3 saves. Wow.
Block.
4 saves. 5 saves. Ooh. Wow.
Ooh.
Okay, that wasn't meant to happen, Joe. Give it a rest. All right, 4 hits ultimately into 5 saves. I think Joe just rolled that just to try to salvage the situation. And that is Nick Fury done.
Oh boy.
Black Bolt is looking to go after Namor.
I think any days here for Jim is a really big deal. Being just down to 4 models and like they can only hold so many, right? So any of the extract holders, and you almost guarantee they're not scoring that specific one unless somehow you make them drop and everything. It's ball's definitely in Jim's court here to try and get some work done.
You know, the dice gods though have been remarkably even-handed on both of these players, so it's not necessarily Jim's to win here. He's going after Spectacular. He decided to change his mind. So Black Bolt into Spectacular Spider-Man, who is holding an extract, but is on full health. Incinerated.
Let's just get those activations off the board, I reckon.
Oh, not a great hit. 3 hits with the wild into 1 save, but there'll be some rerolls happening.
So I think 3 hits in a wild is a pretty good result, actually, because it's a pierce, right? So it's not one-shotting, but it's definitely going to get some damage through. Yeah.
Yep. All right, the re-rolls on Joe's side went into 2 saves, so that means 1 save effectively means 2 power, 2 damage go through to Spectacular Spider-Man.
And we saw there just a glimmer of why the Invaders' leadership is so good, because Joe was just able to re-roll into the defense he needed. But he's definitely going to have to do it again, I think.
You know what I just noticed is that they haven't used many of their tactics cards at all, and it's round 4. Only fallback out of the 10 cards on the table. Wow.
I would have liked to see maybe Inhumans Royal Family this turn.
Yeah.
To get those rerolls.
Second action. Oh my god. There we go. 4 hits into no saves. I'm not sure. I think Joe's done his rerolls, maybe not. But so 4 hits into no saves so far.
I think this was the spender from Black Bolt.
Yeah.
So it also has a throw attached to it.
Sure enough. So that does daze Spectacular Spider-Man. He drops his extract. Jim now placing it. Looks like near Kamala or Miles. Not himself. And still hasn't decided where to put it yet. Okay, he's putting it near Kamala and Miles, I think. Come on, there he goes. Yep. Nope. Yep. Okay.
Is he just going to pick it up?
Did he just pick it up after all that nonsense?
Maybe. It definitely flew off.
It flew off the table somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, they found it. Something weird happened there.
It's interesting, this sort of, because this is definitely like two good players trying to close out the game here, right? So they're really thinking about where Jim's really thinking about where he wants Joe to have the direct attacks. Is it going to be into one of the 2-3 threats that can definitely pick up the point, or is it going to be into Black Bolt, who can pick it up right now? You're kind of guaranteeing some damage is going to go into one of those two. If you put it over there, and maybe it's slightly less incentive to knock off Black Bolt here.
Gotcha. Still don't know who's picked it up. Oh, it's just on the floor. It's still on the floor between those other two characters, and so
yeah. So none of Joe's characters can pick it up. So maybe Jim is thinking that by putting it there, as long as they both don't die to the next attack, the other one just runs over and picks it up and then leaves. That might be what he's thinking here, because why wouldn't you do that, right? That's a good play.
Yep. All right.
We don't really see any aggressive cards out of Joe here either, so he's really down to the
he did play
themselves.
Inhuman Royal Family, though, just now at the end of Black Bolt's turn. So that
okay.
So this is the rerolls. He gets rerolls card.
Yeah. Okay, so he's got it on Quicksilver, on the 3 Inhumans, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The icon's not super easy to tell.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay. Cool. Back over to Joe. He's got Namor or Shang-Chi left to go. Man, this is tight. 12-12. Oh, it doesn't get better than this.
Yeah, I think we just got to see some magic, right? These big scary meta characters being Namor and Shang-Chi, we just got to see them do their thing. Hopefully they do the thing. I don't know if Joe has many other tricks up his sleeve here. He can certainly activate with Namor later and get someone to drop their thing if they're holding it, if he can walk into range of them. But he's kind of low when it comes to tricks and activations. So yeah, we'll certainly see. I think it's likely this game is over at the end of this round. I think it'd be a win for Joe if he can draw up this round, given the state of the board right now.
Gotcha. What does the chat think? Who's winning? Who's on Team Jim? Jim. People like Jim. One person likes Jim.
Yeah, exactly. The last activating, like Quicksilver activating last, is such a threat here. Yeah.
Wow. People like the way Joe clawed back, but they're not willing to back him for the finish. He's like one of those horses that gets a little out of breath towards the end of the track. I say that because York has a famous horse racetrack, doesn't it? I've been there.
We've both been there.
Yeah, but have you been there during the horses, like when they're actually running around? No, just off season, like me. with the geeks. I hear it's like supposed to be really famous. I just know it is an empty, very big field. I did see horse racing. Once we got taken when I was still working in the States early in my career. We got taken over to our UK headquarters in London, and then we went out to, is it Ascot, right? I don't think it wasn't Ascot time, but that track where that track is. We were there watching, and I actually watched horses racing on it. So I have seen British horse racing ages ago. Okay, Shang-Chi decided to charge forward and is going after Quicksilver, probably thinking about that steal later on in the game. Let's see what Shang-Chi can do. 4 hits. Ooh. Nice. Into
a good start.
No saves.
Nothing.
Yeah. Wow. That is a very good start. Quicksilver. Whoa, if this all goes through, he's dazed.
Yeah, so he has access to Inhumans royal family, which I think we're seeing now.
Yep. Full reroll.
Full reroll. So he needs at least one here.
Ooh, didn't get it. Didn't get it.
That's rough.
Ooh. Hey, everybody's on Team Jin. A little sweaty now. Hopefully he didn't bet the rent on that one.
Yeah, that was definitely necessary. He really needed that. He also might look to displace some of the other characters, as Shang-Chi likes to do, as we're seeing here. So Black Bolt is being, once again, pushed around.
That's what you do to Black Bolt, though. That's how to handle him.
Yeah.
I watched a video about an engine manufacturing plant in Spain yesterday. And the company's name is Horse, which I thought was just beautiful. What a perfect name for a thing that manufactures engines. All right, Shang-Chi's now going after Miles.
Let's do it again.
Good old Shang-Chi being broken. 5 hits, including the wild.
God.
Wow, into no saves. Joe is not taking any prisoners. This is it. I always daydream about this. Like there's a little battle going on, ancient Greek battle happening, and everything's kind of like everyone's still in it and fighting hard. But then the god of war shows up, Ares. And he's just mental. He's just on the field, smashing things back and forth. There's no stopping him. He's killing his own people. He's killing the bad guys. He's hurting himself. It doesn't matter. And this is what's just happened. Joe has just gone... What?
We've just seen, not to interrupt you, because I was enjoying that, but we've just seen a recalibration matrix from Miles. To try and save his skin. He's
that desperate. This is it. This is Ares. This is the god of war unleashed. Joe is the god of war right now, and Jim is desperately trying to survive the onslaught.
So he did 1 damage in the end.
So the recal worked. Jim managed it.
Yeah, good recal. Yeah.
Wow.
For sure.
Yeah, he brought the good recal card, not the dud that you sometimes have in your deck. All right, Shang-Chi now gets to move as part of the attack.
This is another form of consulting my notes here.
It's part of the spender, I think.
So it's another part of 5 Elements Fist. This is his flow like water. So he can advance short. So he's gotten onto that back point, so he's drawing it up with Toad, which is nice positional play there.
All right, Jim's up. Jim activates Black Bolt. He's desperately trying to be relevant.
No, Black Bolt activated at the start, right?
Why is he mentioning a Black Bolt? Is he looking for a power transfer, maybe?
I think he's doing the thing where he's
bamboozling us with his his signature move.
Yeah. Oh my God, Miles has got to be absolutely sweating.
That was fun. That was fun. Good old recal, thwarting the god of war.
Yeah. So, you know what I like here, and this is definitely my aggressive sensibilities coming out here. I like Kamala Harris. It's not Kamala Harris. What is it? What?
That's
I don't. I
chat.
do
The
not.
chat
Clearly
did
do
that
not
to
know.
you.
I do not know.
You are. That's
I'm looking at him right now.
3 instances.
Kamala Khan. I'm looking up Kamala Khan. I love this. She's got her rerolls from the Inhuman royal family. I think you just go balls to the wall and just go after that Namor. Let's get him down. He's already on fire. Kamala Khan can hit really hard. When she's got enough power to hit him big in as well. So
yeah, she should have been big in then. If she's gonna go for that.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Although I will say, Eye in the Sky is still up.
Oh
which is obviously...
no! Oh no! Well, we'll see. Because Namor's not easy to take down. Yes, he's incinerated, but he's still got 6 hit points. Got his reroll. He's got his shield reroll. Nasty.
Yeah.
Now, what? What's going on now? It's just Namor on Joe's side. This is important for Jim. He's got 3 activations left to try and make this happen. I don't think Toad can really contribute. It's down to Kamala and Miles.
Toad doesn't necessarily have a bad... Like, he's been fishing for the wilds all game, right? Toad has a push on his builder, so he could definitely just try and push Shang-Chi off that back point there. That's not a bad option for him. If he just pushes him off the point and leaves him there, then you look at maybe displacing Namor from whichever body he's with, and that should probably get him the win if he does that with Kamala. So maybe hands up here, maybe the answer isn't just dive your best control piece at the last activation before he's activated. Maybe that's not the answer.
Yeah. I mean, Miles could just pick that up and run away.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good move.
Right? Because
there's a wealth of options here, and each one could be the downfall, right? So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I like that. If you're not, I don't think it's unlikely that Namor gets both of those two now, both Kamala and Miles. So I think maybe the answer is you just go with Toad and then let Joe try and do something, and then hopefully the other one can counter whatever he's done. Particularly because with Eye in the Sky online, you don't just want to walk Miles away and steal off Namor. That's something that he's definitely worried about. It looks like he's sort of figuring that out right now. You got a shout out in the chat, Norbert.
I know, my old friend Andy from New Jersey. Oh my God. Hey man. So nice to hear from you. He was just at Captain Con. Captain Con is kind of an evolution of another con that was in the same area, which was called Temple Con. And we played a lot of War Machine up there. I made a load of friends during my War Machine days back then. And it's nice to hear from somebody who was at the evolution of it, which is now Captain Con. Okay, did Jim do anything in the end, or was this just a lot of more sticks?
Shang-Chi has shuffled off the point at the back there. Not really sure what happened there.
Oh, is this yeah, well, how did oh, it was Toad. Did Toad hit Shang-Chi and push him?
No, he's not activated.
Yeah, he's not activated. Okay, yeah. Looks like Kamala.
Okay.
Yeah, went. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, she threw him.
She threw him.
Excellent.
Okay, she threw Shang-Chi and then moved to the... did she pick up the thing? Yeah, she picked up the extract and then moved up onto the middle point.
Moving the rubbish outside. And now she's in bodyguard range for Black Bolt as well, so
There
Shang
we
won't be
go.
able to
Nice.
get them both for sure, which is great.
Wow. So this is Namor versus Miles and Toad left to go. Wow.
The bodyguard is obviously very relevant here because Namor can move and can spend it to make Kamala drop it, but then Jim has all the agency to just bodyguard off the attack. So will their Black Bolt can daze, and that would be fine because it's not actually depriving Jim of any points currently.
Jim has Toad with an extract and the secure on the back, so that's 2 points there. He's got a well, he doesn't have a friend to get the bonus off of Toad just yet. He owns the central secure as well, so he's got 1, 2, 3 points, 4 if he can find the bonus. Oh, Black Bolt would get the bonus off of Kamala. So yeah, that'd be enough to win. Okay, here's Namor. Namor charging forward, attacking. I'm gonna guess
Miles, I think.
Miles. Okay, let's see. Let's see who he's attacking. Into Miles, indeed.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, this is good. Big moment here for Namor. Is he gonna pull through? Ooh, nice hit.
That's a good hit.
4 hits with a crit into 1 save, which is a crit. Rerolls happening now as well. Namor has his own reroll. And it looks like, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 hits into 2 saves so far on Jim's part. He gets another reroll. And a 3rd save. Wow. Okay, after all those rerolls, took a long time to resolve that. 1 damage goes through on Miles.
And the stagger, which is really important here for keeping him off points.
Good idea. Good point. Here's the second action. Attack.
Ooh, another big hit.
Yeah, 4 hits with 2 crits into 2 saves with the crit. Oh, now the rerolls are happening. I'm going to just let them happen, and then I'll tell you the results. There we go. 5 hits into 3 saves.
Oh, into 3. No! Oh, he lives.
Lives on 1 point. Oh, the worst.
That's massive. That's massive.
What a high these dice give you, don't they? Like everything's under control, and then the dice show up. I'm still looking for an artist to help me write my comic strip, Talking Back Dice, where the dice talk back to the player that's wielding them. If you want to draw that, a message.
Your dice would be particularly mean, I think.
Oh yeah, they would. Yeah, but I would give it back to them in turn. Yeah, that's an interesting conversation. Yeah, that is definitely. Okay, that is it for the round. It seems like.
No.
I'm sorry, Joe's done with Namor. Yeah, leaving on 1.
I think this is locked up now for Jim. I think if Toad stays on that back point, he can just Miles can web swing and walk after shaking the stagger to that back point there, and I think that gives him the lead, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points.
No, he gets 3. He's got two extracts plus the bonus is 3, and then the back secure is 4, and that puts him on 16.
But if Miles moves back there now, he'll go up, right? So
yeah, that's what has to happen.
Although yeah, although I suppose what's going on here? They're trying something fancy, I think.
Yeah, it's just the late game flourish to appeal to the crowd. Some sort of throw. Maybe he's trying to squeeze another extract out of him. There's only 4 undefeated players in round 5, so this means that round 6, the last round of the league, will actually have the determining match. We'll see who those guys are. Here comes Toad coming forward, sitting on the secure in the middle. And Spectacular Spider-Man then is probably going to shake and move backwards, I guess, onto that secure.
Onto either works, right? So this will lead Jim will be getting the 4 points he needs. Yeah, there we go. And then the move. And then Joe will only be getting 3.
Yeah. Wow. Way amazing. Amazing. The maneuverability on this match. Look at that. They still, out of the 10 cards, only use 3 tactics cards. Crazy.
I think that's a really interesting point, actually, the tactic card thing, because I think definitely you could
see.
Oh,
sorry. I'll take that back, though. Invaders is not really a card, so it's 3 out of 9. 1/3 got used.
But you can see the brace and Battlefield Medicine could have been, maybe not brace. Nobody ever wants to go without brace, but maybe the Battlefield Medicine could have been something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, good game.
Yeah, fantastic game. Yeah, that was loads of fun and really interesting to watch. So let's go and jump and talk to those players and see what they thought of it. I'll see you over there.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. If you got any questions for these fine players, do put them into the chat, and I'll endeavor to ask them. Let me see, where are these guys? Here we are. And connecting. RTC connecting. Still connecting. No route. Oh, there we are. Hello, everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Thank you so much for letting us stream the game. I'm here with Angus. What a match. This was just so amazing to watch. So it was a real pleasure seeing you guys play.
Thank you for streaming it. It's really good.
Yeah, cool. Joe, let's start with you. A real tight loss. It felt like, though, that you were were behind quite early on, and then had a clutch swing turn in the middle there. Can you tell us a little bit if that's true, how you felt about it, or is this exactly how you expected the game to go?
Yeah, I think this is what I was expecting the game to go. That Jim's always gonna have a good turn 1 or into turn 2 if that doesn't work with Inhumans. That's the whole shtick. So I just need to get a big last turn to finish it off. So that's why I was chipping in Blackbot down and trying to get rid of him on the last turn to try and swing it that way. So if I kill Blackbot here, I think I just win this turn. So the long-term game plan went as I expected to work out.
Yeah, because I mean, when you were tied at 12, at that point, did you feel, though, you were still in a good position? Because a lot of people in the chat felt that yes, you had pulled yourself forward, but at some expense, so that Jim was in a better position. Or did you think you were okay going into that 12-12 or going out of that 12-12 round?
No, that was great. The start of that round was my nick into his Black Bolt, and then when that didn't work, his Black Bolt into my Spectacular, and they're both basically 50-50s. So I've done the maths. So it's just a coin toss. If I get my coin toss, and he doesn't get his coin toss, then I think I'm absolutely fine. As it turned out, it went 1 in 4 in Jim's favour, and then the rest of the thing turned out. And as it turned out, I was still 1 point and 1 health away from trying this round and then being in a great position next round. So I think it's fine.
What is it then that you think went awry towards the end? Then what is it that you really needed to happen and didn't?
We saw it, didn't we? Miles is alive on 1 health.
Yep.
Having recaled down to 0, and then taken 2 from Namor. So I need 1 more damage from those 3 hits, and then this game is a tie. But then I've got more material left on the board.
Yeah. Okay. So it was that late game switch there that you were counting on to make this match happen for you.
I was counting on very reliable things to happen. The game played out as it plays out. You have to rely on something. Not everything is a 99.9% chance. So we have to roll the dice.
Right.
But lots of things happened, didn't it? Like Miss Marvel hitting both her wilds on her builders started the game off in Jim's favour. So you can't just say that I was relying on dice.
Yeah.
If Jim doesn't get either of his wilds, then he's not ahead. The Miss Marvel wild was a 2 victory point swing, so that was the only reason he was ahead at 1 wild. So it wasn't me looking for dice.
What's that, Jim?
No, that was me. I was just maybe it was me.
Oh,
I don't
sorry.
know. Anyway,
sorry.
I was just saying, yeah, it was. Yeah, we spotted that on stream as well. It was a really big swing from that Miss Marvel last activation, hitting those wilds has been big the entire time, and like, yeah, a lot of Jim's characters have those like great wild synergy with that as well. But yeah, it was a really good game. I really liked your play with Namor at the start there, just running him right next to Toad. I'm going to take this off Toad. He's not having it this time. And I thought that was a really nice way of capitalizing on having Prio in that situation. And I thought that was a nice thing that particularly the watchers can maybe pick up on and apply, because I think that worked great.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I thought I was never getting it off Toad if I didn't do it then. So might as well try it then.
Yeah.
Joe, there's some that said that you were trying to net deck Jim by not revealing your faction. Did you feel that this was the perfect kind of faction going into Inhumans, or something you've just been playing around with lately?
This is the exact list I've laid in the last 2 games.
Oh, okay. all those naysayers out there besmirching your reputation is awful.
Yeah, I mean, it's wonderful for you to stream, but I'm not going to change my process, which is the same every game, which is don't think about it until 2 hours before, and then go, oh my god, I need a list, and then think about it then. So I'm not going to change so people on the internet accuse me of.
What do you like about Shield Invaders then? What's the strength these days?
I like them because I've not played them a lot, so they're interesting and new. So I probably made a ton of mistakes for all the Shield people watching. But yeah, it's just like the reroll bubble's fun, isn't it? Getting to reroll out spells and stuff, and it's just really nice to play. I think it just feels good, and especially in real life with the dice in your hand, getting to reroll stuff.
Yeah.
And I like they're really flexible as well. Like this list in particular, the webs. Invaders list is just really, really flexible because like everything that goes in one list like is happy in the other as well. So like Namor, Zemo, Shang, they're all really good in webs as well. So it's like a really natural dual affiliated list. Like some of them they feel a bit like too hard stuff together, but this is really synergistic and stuff. So yeah, it's fun.
Cool. All right, let's turn over to Jim. Jim, congratulations on the win. You are just one win away from taking the season 16. What is your attraction to Inhumans? Do you think they've just been slept on and they're actually quite viable in today's meta?
Yeah, well, cheers. And firstly, thanks, Joe, for the game. We were just saying before we nipped for some beers that was one of the best games I've played in a long time. So, thank you, Joe. Nice to have a great game like that against such a long time friend. The Inhumans it's mostly Black Bolt and the leadership that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
I've played a lot of the same character basically, like bodyguard, power leader, like She-Hulk. I love Steve Rogers. So he's just the other one that does the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But where he's maybe a bit different is that he's like a proper character for his threat. So yeah, he's a 5 threat, but he sometimes feels like a 5.5. His damage is outrageous, and his bodyguard only costs 1. Like he's a bit above the curve maybe. In comparison to Stephen Jen, who are just a little maybe below their 4 and 6 step respectively.
Yeah.
And he also enables like some absolute nonsense on turn 1. So because unlike the other power leaders, he can go more than 1, and he can guarantee it. So you can script a lot of turn 1, turn 0 stuff, and do some stuff to get a pretty unfair advantage early, and then his bodyguard then kicks in and you hold on to it until the mid and late game.
But
so I've been really enjoying them, and I can't wait for the new stuff as well.
Yeah, so this is even before the new stuff has come out. But you favor them on narrow crises, right? So getting the secure is quite important.
No, that's not right. My other crises are Infinity Formula and Scoundrels, and so quite spread. I favor them on. I think they're playable on every crisis combination. D shapes are maybe their worst ones, so it was definitely a good priority role to win.
Yeah, sure. Cool. So tell us then about what you felt about going into Shield Invaders. Was this particularly concerning playing the Inhumans, like from that perspective?
Sure. This wasn't the squad I was expecting. The 4-wide. I was thinking I was most likely going to see like some 5-wide stuff with Zemo and Wong maybe, but yeah, I wasn't exactly sure. So I thought I just had to pick, and there was also the possibility that Joe played webs as well, and all webbed up would have been gross here on the central fight. So I just picked the best models I could really. 16 threat was not what I wanted. I'd have preferred 19, but obviously Joe probably worked that out. So I just put the best models down. I didn't really think too much about it beyond that. So Ms. Marvel's like the best generalist 3-threat. Quicksilver's great on assets, and then Miles and Toad are just very, very good characters for their threat value, and then Black Bolt. So I just put that's one of the strengths of a dual affiliation or such a like a squad like Joe's that can play different stuff at loads of different threats, is that you can't tech into anything too hard. So I picked the best models that fit to 16 threat in my list and played that.
Okay, excellent. I had a question and it just slipped my mind, and it was a really important question. Oh, that sucks. We were talking about it, Angus, too, about some choices about using Inhumans, but it'll come back to me. Anyhow, Angus, what questions do you have? Go ahead.
I was wondering because both of you didn't use all of your tactics cards. I thought,
that's what it was. Oh my God! Thank you, thank you. That's what I wanted to ask. Perfect. Go ahead. Go.
Yeah. So both of you didn't use all of your tactics cards. I think, judging by how the game sort of wound out, were there any aggressive choices that you think you could have made when it came to the tactic cards? Or were you happy with the ones you took and you wouldn't have deviated them, knowing what your opponent was going to play?
Oh, for me, that's the one downside of this list, is that I don't really have a choice. My other cards are Webb's cards, so it's this 5 or nothing. I think Brace is always going to be the one that probably didn't get used, maybe on a Miles Web swing. And Battlefield Medicine, I was saving up for obviously get rid of demons and some health, but it just turned out that the models didn't actually end up halfway dead. They were, either fully dead or not dead at all, so there was no use to that one. But I think it's fine. Could have come up.
What about you, Jim?
I think I missed a few opportunities to maybe play patch up on Bolt after he came in and shook his stagger and got back into the middle. I think maybe I could have looked for a way to pick up the extract with him and then patch him up. So maybe I think I missed that at some point. And then, I mean, you just have to take Brace, even though it's unplayed. It's just, even into a squad like this with just Spectacular Spider-Man's throw, I think it's still worth a slot for that to stop some guaranteed damage. And then I did try to use Can I Borrow That, but it didn't work. So.
Yeah, well, especially when you get dazed just when you're about to use it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much again for a fantastic game. Really, really, it's a real lesson and enjoyable lesson watching you guys play. So thank you for that. Thank you to Angus for being back on the show as a co-host. I really enjoyed it this time again, and I hope you did as well.
Had a great time as always. I don't think I like this track of me getting into more and more political trouble on each on each stream.
Well, that's okay. We had some calls to talk about your love life more, so maybe we'll just switch to your love life in the next show.
Yeah, it's safer ground at the very least.
Wow. Okay, let's hope so. Anyway, thanks to everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed this as well. Do like and subscribe. Tell your friends about this. Don't send us any money. We are not interested in the money. We're doing it to help you enjoy the game and hopefully spread the game to many other people. We should be back next week with week 6, the final week of season 16. Until then, have a great evening and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.